What's up, guys? Today I have an excuse to use product showcase mode. That's the Sony, really stupid name, Bluetooth shooting grip. It is actually the GP T2BT, which is the shooting grip with wireless remote commander. It is pretty cool though. This is actually just the box for it, because what I'm actually shooting on right now is the Bluetooth grip in its little tripod mode. It's a little bit low. You can see probably more of my ceiling than usual when I have it mounted up actually at face level, but it's honestly like more usable than I thought it would be as like a tabletop tripod. I'm gonna go to the dealer auction and shoot some footage using it and see what I think about it. My initial impressions are it feels very sturdy. I like the way that it's built and the fact that it's grippy. The buttons are in a good place. I like that there's a button right below like the screw mount for the, like where you attach it into the camera, like the tripod mount. Press that in, you can like flip it around so you can be shooting facing yourself and then flip it around to be, facing someone else, like facing what you're looking at. So that's pretty cool. You can also tilt back and forth on the tripod mount. I've got it tilted back like 1 or 2 steps right now. That's what's kind of shooting like coming up towards me, but like I said, honestly better than I thought it would be. I don't know, let's go shoot some video, see how it goes. Okay, I've made it out to the dealer auction and I'm using the shooting grip, and I do have to say it's a small difference and I do kind of wish it was larger, like longer in length, but this is honestly a pretty damn good improvement over hand holding it. It's much more comfortable. Let's look at some cars. But first, let's see what the actual difference is. This is me holding the ZV-1 in my hand. This is at a comfortable length, but not, absolutely as far away as possible. That would be something like this. This is just in my hand, okay. Now this is with the shooting grip, also at a comfortable length. This is not like as far as I can go, because I can go out to there. That's as far as I can go. So that should give you a pretty good idea of the difference between hand holding and using the shooting grip. I've really got to start looking into the camera lens and not at the screen over there. I look like an idiot. Thank you. It's been my TED Talk. There's a little Honda Fit, pretty much exactly like the one that I used to have. This one's not a Sport though. I might look at it anyway, just for the hell of it. It's actually a really clean little car. It's too bad I have like pretty much absolutely no use for it. Can't drive it because of a dead battery. Definitely want this. Probably not going to be cheap. It's actually kind of ragged on the outside. This bumper cover does not look great. That is not fantastic. Shitty smoke tail lights. Looks like somebody spray painted them. I was gonna drive it just for the hell of it, but battery is completely dead. I definitely want this, but I don't think I want to pay for it. Oh hell, do you see what I see? There's a Miata. I have to own it. I must own them all. Sounds like some kind of aftermarket exhaust. Honestly, sounds a lot like the Roadster Sport Street Single on mine. I should get out and look and see if it has 2 tailpipes, but definitely not stock. Honestly, a pretty clean little car, but I have literally no idea what I would do with this. A lot of times I buy fun cars just to drive them, but like I've already got one of these, so that kind of defeats the purpose, I'm trying to turn on the damn air conditioner, it's hot as hell. But yeah, so that kind of defeats the purpose. Like I've already driven, was this an 06? I have an 08, so like not really much difference. We'll see though, if it's cheap enough, I will own it. Oh, I will own it. Well, it has no exhaust that I can see. So yeah, I'm guessing some kind of single. Definitely doesn't have the dual tip, so which is a plus. I think they're kind of dumb. It's just a basic ass, old ass Ranger, but might be worth it just to have a truck bed. Oh yeah. Should up the frame rate so I can put this in slow-mo. Make it look really awesome. That is cool. totally gonna bid on this. Make Daisy drive it. She would hate it. She hates pink. Sonata would make a good rental car. I might show this to my dad. I think that's gonna be about it for the regular cars. I'm gonna go down the street and look at the in-op line, see if I can buy anything that's pre-wrecked for me, you know, just because it's more fun that way. I'm also using the Dead Cat on top of the camera, the one that it came with, to cover the microphone, and we will find out shortly if it's working because it's reasonably windy out here. I've arrived at the in-op lot. It is very windy. If this footage doesn't sound windy as shit, then the Dead Cat definitely works, because it's windy. This is, as the name implies, the one for all the inoperable stuff that is totally broken. Wrecked, blown motors, bad transmissions. You can get some good deals, but you can also get some absolute junk. Impala SS, one of the front drive ones that I don't know why they made, and this one looks particularly ragged. Look at those wheels and tires. That is terrible. This is the one I really came for. My dad wants this Sonata for a rental car, so I'm gonna check it out pretty good. Looks like I won't be checking it out as thoroughly as I anticipated. Every door is locked. Well, then I guess that's about it. So far, I do really, really like this shooting grip. It's still, this camera still needs a wider angle lens to me, or the shooting grip could be a little bit longer, or both. But overall, this makes it at least tolerable for me. I'm not like super stretching my head. See, I can go out to here. So like I can hold it at a reasonably normal, comfortable angle and still get myself completely in the shot, even with stabilization on and shit. So, I mean, I guess it's not too bad. It's definitely better than hand holding. So I'm definitely glad that I bought it. I'll have more thoughts later. Okay, well that was pretty rad. I wish that Porsche was a stick shift and like $20,000 cheaper than what it's likely to sell for. And I may still buy that Miata if it's cheap enough, even though I have literally no use for it, and even already have one that I don't drive that's that body style and is actually the retractable hardtop version with a 6-speed instead of a 5-speed and all kinds of cool stuff, and I don't drive it, so obviously I need another one. Anyway, in terms of the shooting grip, I like it a lot. It doesn't seem like much distance and it's getting it away from your face, but it honestly is enough to make a difference on the ZV-1. I found it much easier to keep myself in the frame, and I wasn't like constant, like usually when I'm holding it just in my hand, I have to be like constantly looking over there at the monitor to make sure that I'm still in frame, because the framing is so tight that if you move just a little bit, you're like half your head's cut off. With the shooting grip, it's still not perfect. I still wish the ZV-1 had a wider lens, or that the shooting grip was a little bit longer, but it's better. It's totally serviceable. There is one thing about it that I legitimately hate, but honestly that's really more ZV-1 than it is Bluetooth wireless shooting grip, BT, what the hell ever. It's the fact that when you have it screwed into the camera, you cannot open the battery door, so you can't get a camera or an SD card out of it, unless you completely detach it from the shooting grip, which is super annoying, but to be honest, like I said, really not the fault of the shooting grip. It's the fault of the camera and where the tripod mount is. Pretty much any tripod is going to block the battery and SD card door. There's just no two ways around it. Having said that, even taking that into consideration, I still think I would highly recommend it. It seems well built. The buttons are exactly where you would expect them to be. It doesn't take long at all to get used to it. It does get the camera further enough away from you to make a big difference on framing. And it's like very grippy. Like, I don't know, it just feels really good in your hand. The tripod function is actually way more useful than I thought it would be. I can actually see this being useful in, more public settings, putting it on a table in a restaurant or something to do a time lapse or whatever. But overall, it's, pretty good little setup, honestly, especially if you're buying your ZV-1 and you have the option to get the vlogger kit or whatever that includes it. That's what I did, and I think it ends up being like $109 when purchased with the ZV-1, and you get the Bluetooth shooting grip and an actually pretty damn good SD card. It's like a 64 gig, which isn't ideal, but whatever. It's like less than free, because the shooting grip itself is normally like $150, somewhere in there. and the kit with the shooting grip and the SD card was $109 when I purchased it with the ZV-1 from Best Buy. So that's kind of a no-brainer to me. But yeah, overall, I'm honestly super pleased with it. I like the pan, I like the tilt, I like the tripod function. It has useful buttons, like, let's zoom in. And then zoom out. Not something I do a ton in video, but it's still nicer than fumbling with the camera controls. Background blur, I don't think that's going to make much difference. Whatever, we blurred it. We're blurred now. There's no going back. The controls are pretty good. Like, even just for shooting photos, or even just if I'm not like shooting selfie style video where I'm talking into the camera, even then it's honestly easier than just holding the camera. And honestly, it's nice to be able to just fold the tripod out and set the camera down like that. I'm a lot less worried that it's going to get knocked over or something. So yeah, overall, I would say this is a definite buy. I'm super happy with it. I'm really glad I ended up buying this instead of just the ZV-1 by itself, which is what I was kind of tempted to do. But yeah, this is definitely a good purchase. I think it's pretty much going to be how I use the camera, is with this grip on it pretty much all the time, except for when I have to change the damn battery. But that aside, I like it. Go buy one. Thank you.